Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urios Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. All right, it's time for another installment of the Doctor Spell Prognosis. Today, we're talking about the first level spell, Searing Smite. I give this spell a B+. I do really like all of these spells that Paladins and Rangers get that are pretty niche to them. There's a few other classes that can use these. We're going to talk about that. But this one, this is one of the ones that's good. It's good for adding a bunch of damage that can help the Paladin become a little bit more equal to, say, a fighter. So, it is a first level spell that is usable by Paladins and Forge Domain Clerics. So we're going to look a little bit at the Forge Domain Cleric too and see how that fits in. It is a bonus action to cast it. So, but this is one of those bonus actions that this is the first thing you want to do before you attack. It has a range of stealth. It has a verbal component only. It lasts for an entire minute. It is concentration, but there's not, as far as spells for Paladins go, you're either using them for Divine Smite, Divine Smites, or you're using them for stuff like Searing Smite, or in combination of the two. So these are appropriate uses of those spell slots. The caveat with this one, with the 1 minute duration, is it doesn't last for 1 minute for every hit of that minute. It lasts for a minute until you hit a creature, and then it's done. It is the School of Evocation. It has a con save, and a con save is the second worst one to have to deal with. Most creatures have a very high strength, then they have a high constitution, then they have a high dexterity, and that's out of the 3 physical ones. So really, if you have something that's going to target one of the physical attributes, it's better to have dex, then con, then strength. But it is what it is, and that is a secondary effect. So it does fire damage. So the next time you hit a creature with a melee attack during the spell's duration, your weapon flares with white hot intensity, and you deal an extra d6 of damage, fire damage. It's fire damage, which means there are going to be a number of creatures that are immune or resistant to fire. So you do an extra d6 of fire damage, and you may cause the target to ignite in flames. So at the start of each turn until the spell ends, the target must make a Constitution saving throw at the start of each of its turns. If they fail, they take another d6 of damage. So that can really ramp up quite a bit. Or another creature within 5 feet can use an action to put the flames out. So, and you can upcast this to do more damage on the initial hit. So if I'm a Paladin and I'm going to use this spell, I'm going to walk up, I'm going to blast this spell off either before or after I walk up as a bonus action to get it going. It lasts for a minute, and then it doesn't go away until I hit something. So I have to hit something, and then when I hit them, I'm going to try and after I hit them, I'm gonna try to Divine Smite at that point, and that's really important because you want to rack up as much damage as you can. There's no reason in a combat to save stuff, especially if you're going against a boss creature. You might as well just get it all out and go for the Nova Strike. So I'm going to use my most effective thing. So if I've got a Searing Smite left, then I'm going to use that with the Divine Smite. With Divine Smite, so if we go to the Paladin class, with Divine Smite, when you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can expend 1 spell slot. So you can't expend 2, you can expend 1 spell slot to deal radiant damage in addition to the weapons damage, and it depends on the slot that you used. And you do extra damage against undead or fiends with that. So undead are going to take fire damage. There's really not a lot that they're going to be able to do about that. So this Divine Smite in combination with Searing Smite is actually pretty good. And you might set them on fire. Who knows? You might set them on fire. Now, if you've got the fighting style like dueling or great weapon fighting. So dueling is you wield a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapon, so you can have a shield in the other hand, and you can do a bonus of 2 damage. If you got greater weapon fighting, then you can re-roll damage, so that you got a lot of options for damage. Now, I like the Oath of Vengeance Paladin a lot, because the Oath of Vengeance Paladin can abjure an enemy. Actually, that's not... Yeah. And you have your Vow of Enmity. That's the one I'm looking for. So as a bonus action, you can utter a Vow of Enmity against a creature you see within 10 feet of you. You gain advantage on attack rolls against that creature for 1 minute or until it drops to 0. So that's a good crit fisher. Now, you can't do 2 bonus actions in a turn. You can't convert an action over to a bonus action. So this might take a little building up to do. But again, if you're going against a boss creature, this is a good one to start out with. Then come in with the Searing Smite. And if you crit, this thing doubles. And it can do even more damage, because you double all damage dice. And that the class feature of Divine Smite also doubles. So you can really lay on the damage with these. So that's what I got for everybody today. I forgot. We got to talk about the Forge Domain Cleric with this spell as well. So Blessing of the Forge, till the spell ends. At the end of a long rest, you can touch one non-magical object or suit of armor or simple martial weapon. It becomes magical. So if it's armor, it's a +1. If it's a weapon, it's a +1 to attack and damage. So I guess that's okay. And then if you have the Soul of Forge, you can get a heavier armor. You can get Divine Strike, which is kind of like a Smite, sort of. Clerics, in my opinion, shouldn't be doing a lot of heavy kind of melee attacks. But if you want to make this Forge Domain Cleric better, Searing Smite is probably a good spell to take. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So, all right, that's all I got for everybody today. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I